Yes. Welcome to the Main Squeeze podcast. Yeah, see, I'm trying to think. I mean, that can only be me. Do you know what I mean? But no, hi everybody. Welcome to the Main Squeeze podcast with Acsha and Dan. Another episode 16.
Mm-hmm.
You know, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it's
sweet
it's
16.
Bit. It's a young 16, babes.
I don't know, this whole young thing.
I'm saying to Dan, young this, young that, because I've heard that's what the kids are saying now, young this, young that. I think it just means like a little, instead of saying a little, it's a young. I don't know, but should I stop trying to be 17? Is that what you're saying?
Maybe stop.
Okay, I'll try. And I just want to, before we start, really, I was thinking about all of our amazing listeners and people who are supporting us, and I just want to make sure that everyone feels like they are loved and appreciated, because they are.
God, you guys are so loved and appreciated.
Yeah, honestly, because without you guys, we're nothing.
What?
We would be nothing.
We'd just be chatting to ourselves.
Which was basically what we do, but to know that you guys are out there listening, and anyone's just a silent supporter, really. So, you know, just thank you so much. We appreciate you. And I just wanted to make that clear.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Ooh.
So you know now that we love you guys.
Right. Well,
don't ask again.
Before.
Exactly, don't ask.
Not everyday appreciation.
Not every day.
No, everyday appreciation. Bit of a weird couple of days, do you think? I think.
Yeah. I've definitely been feeling weird the last few days.
Okay. Define weird. Hey.
Oh, hello! He's just stepped to the building.
We are, but you can say hi. Oh, you're going into yours now, aren't you? You've just had a little guest, everybody. A young guest.
Mr. Van's in.
Yeah, I'm running late, so...
He's promising us his time and effort one day, but
one
day.
Do you know what? I've been terrible. We need to arrange it properly. I'll hit you back.
Yeah.
Well, we're here till, we're here anyway. But yeah, hit me back, like, officially.
All right, cool.
All right, have a good one.
See you later, darling.
Right, we'll have to edit that out. Sorry, Mr. Vans, you gotta go. We'll see how it sounds. You gotta go, but you can come.
You can come another day.
That would be great. Okay, well, off mic. Weird, last couple of days. Do you want to break that down a bit? If you want to. It hasn't got to go all the way deep about whatever, but... Yeah.
Okay. Do you know what? Okay, so I've just been very aware that I feel like I've been floating, and that I love that. I love that I'm a float. I'm just like, everything is amazing. Mm-hmm. But I had to do a couple of reality checks this week.
Okay.
I just kind of, I was to put it out there. I have debts, and I'm like, I need to get under control. Like last year, I didn't want to come into this year with the same thoughts in my head, and I have. Okay. So I'm like, Dan, let's grow up a little bit, just a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's adult and sort them out. And the last couple of days, I've just been in between clients that the universe has been sending to me, because I have been asking and they have been showing up every day. I'm getting someone asking for a new something.
Okay. So that's well done. That's amazing and incredible, and that's exactly where you should be, where you wanted to be.
That's where I've wanted to be.
And that's going to in turn help with the debt situation.
Yeah, exactly. So it's amazing. I've been the last couple of days I've been paying off some money, and do you know what it is? What I need to be grateful for is that I can. Like, I went into my account today and I had money there because I've had clients.
Special. I love that.
And then I kind of paid a bit of money out this afternoon. My client came in, she said, "Oh, I'll pay you now." And I'm like, I was like, "Oh, you don't have to." But then she was like, "No, I will." And then I thought, in my head, "Don't say it again." And I said,
"Why did we do that?
Why did we do that?
No.
Yes, thank you very much." Because no one gets their designer bags before.
You don't go into Zara and buy and go, "I'll pay you next week, hon."
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's funny, isn't it? Obviously, I know it's a different type of service.
No, it's true.
It's a different type of service, but yeah, it's like, okay, there are some businesses, like you dry cleaning, you pay for your dry cleaning on pickup, don't you? So yeah, there are some businesses like that. Yeah. But obviously, if people are offering to pay you beforehand, then just take it, babes. Yeah, man.
Let the blessings come.
Yeah. And actually, that's I know it's a little bit different, but someone always said that to me as well, like, pay before you have the thing, because then you'll get it. It'll be even better. You'll get it quicker. There'll be more. Do you know what I mean?
It's very different. That you know that person ain't gonna be slow with your stuff or fuck up your stuff, because you kind of secured
the thing.
I've done this, kind of thing, and I think that's why a lot of people do it. Because for me, like when I was first doing this, people would be like, "Oh, Dad, I want this, I want this, I want this," and I'm like, "Okay," but I've gotten so used to people saying that, and then nothing comes of it. Unless we've had a proper confirmation and we spoke and you know how much it is, because we've spoken about the price, don't guarantee that I'm doing it, because I'm just so used to people asking for stuff.
And then what, it's going to sit there and you're never going to collect it.
I've still got stuff that people have asked me to do.
Right.
That they've never.
So that's actually now up to you as a businesswoman now to start. Yes, you've got the creative thing down. We all know that you can create like an absolute murderer.
I know I'm on a
but now it's the business side. So yes, here's the invoice. Yeah. What was our thing the other day? Invoices, money, and something else. They were the words of the day, wasn't it? We were like, right, the words of the day. Invoice, money, and clients.
Yeah, that was it.
All them three things can bring nothing but joy. Yeah. So if I was you, I would be like, right, here's your, even a part pay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because that's what I said,
and
like you can pay
the rest on delivery when you're happy, or on pick up once we know you're 100% happy, which you will be.
Which you obviously.
More than.
Come on.
So I think that's definitely now up to you to become more.
Like once the conversation happens. Yeah. Don't assume that everyone is just telling me what they want, but be like, oh, okay, then send the invoice. For the conversation we had, here's the invoice for it.
This is the breakdown of
because they might have been gassing, but then once they get the invoice, they might be like,
see it on paper.
I
actually do want it, and it's all break. Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Part payment, bam, bam, bam. Or even I definitely think that would be good for you. It's hard, isn't it? Because you're literally just going on your own. You haven't. I don't know. But the business side of it is all new, isn't it? Yeah, babe, exactly.
I'm learning it.
Right.
I'm so learning.
So maybe that could even be like a young business course or something that you could go.
Babe. Young business course.
I know, I'm going to overdo that this second. A little business course, a little free, I don't know, a little online thing. They're out there, babes, just to make sure that you are making the most of you and your time as well. Remember, it's not just your time that you're given, and your one-off creations as well that people are receiving. That ain't nobody given to these people under any circumstances. Gucci, Dior, other labels are available.
This has not been sponsored.
Right. So I think that's definitely the next step then for you, so that you don't feel like. And that you just know where your money's at, you're making your money, and you're on top of it. Yeah. But that's obviously all in time. I know nothing.
You do. What about your week? How's your week been?
Do you know what? I've actually had a really nice couple of weeks. Because it seems like only yesterday that we were here with Yabs. Crazy. Mm-hmm. So I have had a nice little week. I went to Baltimore to see Alicia, which was absolutely amazing. Didn't know I was going. I was on standby with work. I actually don't know if people enjoy this chat, but I don't know, maybe you do. So basically, when I'm on standby with work, it basically means that I could be called for anywhere. So I'm just sitting there, they'll say to me, right, we'll call you between 2 and 6 if we need you for a flight, and you're literally sitting there. You can check to see what flights will leave between that time, so you can break it down and go, okay, so there's a New York, there's a Barbados, there's a this, there's a that, so let me just pack a 1-2 bikini, and also pack the ski boots. You just don't know. So I wasn't really sure, and then literally they gave me this 2-night New York, which is obviously amazing. I'm quite rare at the moment because they're all one-nighters, which basically means you're in and out. So with the 2 nights, I was like, right, and Baltimore, for anyone who doesn't know, to be fair, I didn't really know, is literally a 2.5 hour train ride from New York.
Oh, lovely.
Amazing. So I was like, and I've never been to Baltimore, so obviously my sister's been there for the last, year nearly now. I've never been to Baltimore, so I was like, do you know what, I need to come and see you and your little habitat, do you know what I mean? And amazing, babe. So literally got to New York, and then booked a train ticket from the big station, and you know anyone who's been to New York, it's a lot.
So
It's like
the big station.
no, it's in Penn Station,
Okay.
where like all the big trains go to. Like, you know, I went past Philadelphia on this train.
cool.
Yeah, it was so cool, baby. Watch the white sneak.
I know.
Danielle's
sorry.
just brushed up on my new fresh white. I've never had white trainers before. This is the first
That's
time I've
why.
had extra white trainers.
I noticed Merlin was going to say it.
Babe,
but
this is the
they are
bit.
so
Ellie
nice.
encouraged me to get them actually. Big up Ellie and Under Armour. Other brands are available.
Oh, they're
They're Under Armour, babes. I know they're so cute.
Who would
aren't
afford
they?
to get her Under Armour?
I know. Hey, Under Armour's, you know,
I
doing
mean,
a bit
do you know
now.
what it is so specific? It's sports specific, isn't it?
It's sports specific. You're absolutely right, but
So,
yeah,
they
how
should sponsor
cute.
me. They should sponsor me to do some kind of collaboration.
I am trying to get sponsored because I really, well, I don't know how I can say this. Dennis is
Yeah.
my sister's husband is like quite high up in the ranks there. And I said to him, can you not get Under Armour to call me and like ask me if I will be their next top model?
Yeah.
But I don't. But if he does, then I'll bring you in.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, I'll be waiting, babe, myself.
Okay, cool.
So, basically, get to New York, and anyone that's been there knows New York is like, it's like London on heat, basically. Yeah. So it's just busy. There's people everywhere.
Yeah.
You don't understand. It's actually not even like, babe, it's too much. It's not even like our lovely tube is a breeze in comparison to their stuff. Yeah, babe. You know, we just have colours and stations and that's it. They've got like all kinds of different and you'll be like, okay, so that train, they'll be like, well, that train doesn't run on a Thursday and it only stops at that stop on a Wednesday. And you're like, what? No, babe, literally, you're on the train. It's like, you're on the wrong train if you want to go all the way to New Jersey, and you're like, wow, babe, I was literally trying to go to New Jersey and it says on the board, but because it's Wednesday, it doesn't go there. No, it's a lot. So I did have a little bit of back and forth, and I was nearly on my way to New Jersey, and Dennis was like, no, hon, you're not going that way, back up. So it was a lot, but now I've done it, I could do it again.
Yeah.
So from New York, I then got the train, straight to Baltimore. It was amazing, absolutely amazing. I had a lovely few days in Baltimore, sun was shining. Obviously my sister and her husband had everything boxed off, like they're so organised, this little restaurant, that little, doing this thing, that thing, and we basically just drank and had a really nice time actually for 2 days. It was really good, and then I came home and then I cried. I always cry when I leave my sister, you know, it's so pathetic.
Okay.
Yeah, I do always have a little cry on the train, like, oh, I love you, and then I'm alright once I'm on the way.
So much.
So that was really nice. Came home, and then I've just been here ever since, and here I am with you now. Hey.
I feel so special.
But I do think so. There has been Mercury was in retrograde yesterday.
Tell us more.
And I do believe that could be why you've been feeling a little bit off.
Yeah,
And
I've been so tired.
Oh, okay.
Oh my god.
Okay. I definitely think all of that is included, you know.
Yeah.
Babe, you're feeling it strong. Because you just live your life on a daily, feeling these energies. So it's so strong.
Oh yeah, I've been.
It's in Pisces. Is it Pisces? No, sorry. Libra. Sorry, it's in Libra.
Okay.
Which
balanced.
Libra is exactly. Oh my gosh! Right, let me just get down to the reading now because I think you need it. Okay, so, the third Mercury retrograde of 2021 began on the 27th of September and it lasts until October the 18th. I'm sorry to say.
Wow.
Falling in the scene of Libra, which rules partnerships, the year's final Mercury retrograde is said to affect relationships the most. You may reassess situations and dynamics that are unbalanced.
Oh my god, everything is just making
Baby
sense.
girl, I'm telling you now. I'll read that again. You may reassess situations and dynamics that are unbalanced, deciding where or who to invest your energy. Come back, babe, this is what I'm telling you. Come, sit down now. Oh! Breakups, shake-ups and miscommunications may happen. I'm telling you now. The good news is that a stronger foundation can be built if we try to understand others and implement growth into our relationships. In the framework of astrology, Mercury governs all things related to communication and travel. When Mercury is in retrograde, people may experience trouble that falls within those realms. A few examples of quintessential Mercury retrograde woes. Texts are not delivered, secrets come out of the woodwork, computers break down, car batteries fail, wires get crossed, etc., etc. Fallout with friends occur, decisions seem impossible to make. In addition to supposedly impacting events, Mercury retrograde also is said to have an impact on people's minds and mental processing. People may experience symptoms like brain fogginess and high anxiety. During this time of backwards movement, it's also common for people to grow nostalgic about their past, so you may encounter greetings from old friends and ex-lovers.
I hope not.
I hope not. Use this kind of turmoil to pause and reflect. Identify the areas in your life that may need change. Astrologically speaking.
Okay.
Whoa, she got it. Astrology. That one. Now is not the time to make big decisions. Cleanse electronic devices, cars or personal space with lavender.
Oh.
It's just said to open. Hang on, I just said it in email. Didn't want. Cleanse electronic devices, cars or personal space with lavender or a fresh organic lavender spray.
Mm-hmm.
Lavender is said to open the throat chakra, which governs communication.
Oh my God, I need that.
Right. I don't really like lavender, but I know it does a lot. I just don't like the smell of it. It's too rosy,
but
too
we need to
flowery.
open our throats.
We need to open the old throat chakra.
Oh yeah, throat chakra.
Yeah. Meditate to reach a state of peace.
I've been meditating.
Okay. Keep.
These long words, Ash.
I know. Lapis lazuli. Do you know what that is? I think that's a type of.
In a crystal.
Is it a crystal? Yeah. Yes, it is. It's a crystal. Yeah.
Are you proud of me?
Yeah, man. Of course.
I know my crystals.
Yeah, man. Healing crystals thought to aid with communication close by. Keep a journal to reflect on what you're feeling. Okay. That's that. Now, just to also let everybody know, just who doesn't, what Mercury in retrograde actually means, it's an astrology. It's so ridiculous. Astrological phenomenon that occurs when the fast-moving planet Mercury, which takes 88 days to orbit the sun, as opposed to Earth, which takes 365. So it's going. Mercury's on a mad one. Planets move from east to west around the sun. During Mercury retrograde, Mercury appears to move backwards. So it's going backwards. It makes sense. Everything's stopping. Everything's reevaluating.
Yeah.
Right? This far-off celestial phenomenon has repercussions down on Earth. During this time of apparent backward movement, the areas of life that Mercury tends to rule seamlessly include travel, communication, technology are disrupted. Everything's going to be a little bit fucked up, basically. Okay, so it's up to you and us to keep on the track. But it's also, I think it's just a time to recognise these things as well and say, well, actually, what do I want to change? And, you know, what does need to be shaken up a little bit? So I don't think it's anything to be, obviously you're feeling it hard.
I don't ever feel like I felt it hard before. When people are like, oh my God, Mercury's in retrograde, I'm feeling it. And I'm like, calm down. But literally the last couple of days, I've just been on a mad one.
Okay.
Like, undescribably.
Right.
Not feeling myself.
Oh, that really upsets me. But yeah, it does a bit because I don't want you to feel like that. But then I think it's good for you.
It's growth.
Because if you don't have that, then how are you ever going to stop, reflect, and reevaluate stuff? You're not.
Yeah, exactly.
You're just going to keep going.
Just keep going. Like the Energizer Bunny.
Right.
You know,
okay.
My batteries run out at like 9, 10 o'clock in the evening. And by the morning, by 5 o'clock, they're restored. I'm like, oh my God, hi everybody.
That's
like,
you.
And that is me. I'm cool. It's all jiggy. And when it's not, it's all jiggy. Do you know what I'm saying? But like, I'm kind of like, wait a minute, wait a goddamn minute. I'm not right here.
Okay, so that's fine. And I think knowing that now, having that little bit of insight might put things into perspective a little bit better for you.
Definitely.
And I'm not saying it's going to make everything okay. But at least you've got a timeline. Yeah. 18th of October. Yeah. No one's saying it's got to run till then for you. You could have your shit together way before then. And maybe, maybe that is even cementing what you've got to do.
Yeah.
The little things have changed that you do have to make changes. The things that you may have to make changes on.
Yeah.
May
100%.
become a little bit more. It's slapping you in your face, girl.
Slapping in your face like a dildo.
Oh, that'd be nice.
What?
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 I don't know.
I don't know either.
Big
It sounds
dildo.
nice. Yeah, it sounds like fun. Maybe that's what you need, some fun. Yeah, not a hard one. A nice soft one. Sorry, guys. Sorry, Mum.
Sorry, someone's daughter.
Yeah, oh, God.
Someone's son, I don't know. Daughter.
Well, talking of sons and daughters. Well, maybe not sons. Who knows, actually? Actually, I did read that he did. Sons and daughters.
Definitely sons as well.
I think so, because it actually said that he used to give... Okay, guys, we're moving on now.
We're moving on.
So, we're moving on. R. Kelly.
R. Kelly. Oh, actually, he doesn't get an R kid, does he?
No, R. Kid.
Claim him.
No, that's too nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's too... It's like a... It's endearing.
It's endearing.
Yeah, we cannot endear this one. Yeah, Robert Sylvester Kelly. Look how I know his full title. I didn't even read that. I know that, Robert Sylvester Kelly, you know.
Yeah.
God damn. You know what, it just goes to show, doesn't it, that your time literally will come.
Yeah.
Your time will come. You know, we're going back 25 years now. And only now this man is being brought to justice. And, okay, so... Anyone who doesn't know, yesterday on the 27th of September, 27th, yeah, R. Kelly was found guilty in a court in Brooklyn of, I'll tell you exactly what he was found guilty of, racketeering.
What is
racketeering? I know, babe, I know, that's why I googled it, I've got it all ready for us. So, right, he was found guilty of racketeering and sex trafficking charges. So I was like, right, racketeering, let's break that down first of all. Racketeering is a type of organised crime in which the perpetrators set up a coercive, fraudulent, extortionary... God, you're really pushing me to the limits here. Extortionary or otherwise illegal coordinated scheme or operation to repeatedly or consistently collect money or other forms of profit. So basically, I don't even know if he was making money for it, but basically there were times where, so I rewatched the documentary today, like I told you before, so I rewatched the R. Kelly documentary on BBC iPlayer, guys, which it is still available to watch, which it might, I don't know, just, it's not a nice watch, but it's an interesting watch.
Yeah, I watched it on Netflix when it was.
Okay, I think there's a couple, to be fair. And it basically was saying that he would, terrible, but someone, now because people aren't scared to speak out, so one of his old producers said that basically there was a time when he just had one girl just lined up, she was standing at the top of the line, or bottom, well, she was definitely the bottom of the line, she wasn't at the top of the line. That's something that we say at Virgin when you're under the line. Anyway, that's when you're under the line, basically, you're not in a good place because you're under the line, you want to be above the line.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? She was basically under the line and men were just queuing up and having their go. So she was just there with her panties down and one man, bam, come, one man, bam, pump, and that was obviously all set up
controlled it
by him, yeah.
Wow.
So, and what this guy was basically saying is that it wasn't always that he would see R. Kelly having sex with the girls or being abusive or anything like that. He got pleasure out of giving these girls to his friends and people that were coming into the studio or parties and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because apparently there was this one time a friend come in, a white guy, and the girl was like, I don't do white guys. And he was like, well, you do this one because this is my friend.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
That documentary was hard to watch. It was hard to watch. Like I said, I don't know if the one we watched was the same, but just knowing all of this about this man that I'm gonna say loved.
You did?
But I loved R. Kelly. I had every single album. I was going through my CDs. For those that don't know what CDs are, they're
like
the
a
little
small
round
little
things.
silver thing that you used to put into a device.
Yeah, and it could sucked it in like.
And it used to scratch, and it would be horrendous.
Yeah, But I was going through all my CDs and getting rid of some CDs because I'm like, who listens to CDs? And it was after I watched the documentary and I just had like these 7 R. Kelly CDs. I found it difficult to get rid of them.
I wouldn't expect, to be fair. I don't. Now maybe it's a tough one. It is a real tough one. It is not. No, it's not a tough one. Sorry, it's not a tough one in the sense that.
And that sounds bad. People might cancel me for that. But
no, are you mad? I think everyone's going through the same struggle.
And it was
we all loved R. Kelly's music.
And it's his music, not the person.
We didn't even know the person.
We didn't know the person.
We didn't, babe. All we knew was the music.
But the songs have a memory. Like you listen to an R. Kelly song, and it ignites a memory. Whether it's funny, like his Trapped in the Closet song.
Hilarious.
They were hilarious, but I don't want to like glorify his music right now. But
we don't need to do that because it's already been done.
It's been
We're
done.
We're just little old us talking about it. So
It's the emotion. His songs just invoke an emotion.
It will take you back to a place.
It takes you back, innit? Like,
you know.
But
and it is really that's what is so that's not what's so sad. The sad part is the girls that suffered and everything. But I think for us, it's a difficult. One of the sad things is the fact that we cannot enjoy the music anymore.
We can't.
Do you know what I mean?
Because it's disgusting what you done.
Yeah, and we know what the music, where it's come from, where the creativity. Like I was just telling Dan guys that. The Feeling on Your Booty song, which could potentially be my favourite R. Kelly song, which I don't know if that says more about me. Sorry. I mean, that's another thing. It does make you think, gosh, 12, 13 years of age, listening to these songs.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Also a little bit disturbing. But we didn't know then. We didn't know then. Age ain't nothing but a number. Love that song. Literally. When you really deep those words, how was he getting into our brains like that?
Yeah.
And making, obviously I was young. I must ask like my mum or someone what she thought about those songs, because as an older person, wiser, more lived, more experienced, were other people, older guys looking and thinking, what you talking about? Age is definitely a number, and age is definitely involved in this. But as a kid, I just wasn't thinking.
But we weren't thinking like 20 years age different. We were like thinking like 2 years age different.
Right, that's true.
When I was before I wouldn't even go, guys that like 9 months younger than me. Okay. And then I met Jermaine, who was 9 months younger.
Right.
Age ain't nothing but a number. But this is like 20 or 2.
We used to use that as the balance to say, well, R. Kelly said age ain't nothing but a number.
Yeah.
I think people did. Exactly. I think people would have used that.
Yeah.
Which is just terrible in itself.
Yeah.
So all these songs definitely came from somebody potentially being, abused or affected in some way. Like the Feeling on Your Booty song, I was listening to watching the documentary, and it said about the guy was saying how when he was making that song, he had 2 girls standing on where they make the records or whatever, just butt naked. And he was just there, just like slapping on the booties and just using the booty as I guess creative drive in a way, I guess, if there's such a thing. And then I was thinking, is he mentally unwell?
He is. He was abused as a child. Right. And this is not my excuse for him, but I remember watching the documentary, and he was abused for years.
That's a different documentary then.
Oh, okay, by his cousin. Mention that.
Yeah, this is a different one.
I think his sister. It was his sister.
Was it his sister or his auntie?
No, it was his actual sister, his older sister.
Okay, that's a bit deep.
And the thing is, I thought like with a lot of abusers, they've been abused.
Yes, but there's a lot that don't as well.
There's a lot that don't, but he had been abused. But I just feel like, you know, because he's not just.
It was on a different level.
Yeah.
It's really awkward me doing this.
It's on a different level.
It was on some real deep, I'm going to make you love me kind of thing. Because these girls, because the thing was, well, what they were saying on this one, on BBC iPlayer, was the girls a bit like, it's like I wanted to, but I knew it was wrong. So it was like he got into your head to make you think that it was okay. So, me and my mum were even saying last night, like, I wouldn't, when you
they were
look at
prisoners
it,
as well.
what did Aaliyah really go through when you really deep it? Who even will never know what she actually went through. Knows. Getting married at 15. And when they showed the clip, of them having an interview way back when, you know, they had the same like
I
shirts,
remember that
checked
one.
shirts
Yeah.
on, and she just looked absolutely stunning. I don't know how she was so stunning back then. She was just pure stunningness,
beautiful.
natural. There was no
So
eyebrows.
natural. Yeah.
There was no nothing. I was going to say there was no weave. That was her hair, wasn't it?
I feel
It
like that
was?
was her hair.
I've always thought that was her hair.
I think it's not like it was over long, like.
No, it wasn't until later.
Yeah.
But I just...
When she first got, that was her hair.
But she was so goddamn beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, I literally wanted to be Aaliyah.
Everyone wanted to be Aaliyah.
We did. And
I
anytime
wanted to dress
anyone
like
would say
tomboys.
to me, yeah, or anytime would say, oh, because I used to have my hair, they go on, I'd be like, oh, yeah, that was my little thing with the little slick back.
Little slick
Yeah.
thing. One eye showing.
So so when this documentary, and it was like, she was like, this is my best friend, and I was like, babe, when today I was thinking, he's like 30 odd, or I don't know, I guess he would have been about 30 odd then, because he's 54 now.
Okay.
And she was about my age, so yeah, she would have been a bit older than me. No, I think she was older than me, so I think she was about 40. So, yeah.
I feel like she was my age.
She's 15 and he's 30, basically. That is not your best friend,
That is not your best friend, babe. Right.
Right? So what was going on there? And then they actually got married. Her parents actually got the marriage void annulled. And, you know, what actually went down there?
Yeah. It'd be definitely interesting to know.
And then there was an injunction put out that basically they couldn't speak, so that's why for the rest of her life they didn't have any contact, and then she died. So, yeah, it's all kinds of, it's and do you know what else I was thinking? So I've got a lot here. I was thinking how, and I don't always want to bring it back to race, I don't, but I was thinking to myself, God damn it, why has it taken so long to bring this man to justice when it was predominantly black women that were suffering?
Because the black community...
Babes.
I had this
Honestly.
conversation at my studio today with some of the guys, and I said, it's amazing. And I only can speak for America because I don't really know about over here because it's out there.
Yeah.
In their community, majority of households have been abused. Majority of when they were teens, children,
In
have
the
been
States.
abused in the black community.
Right.
It's big, and then obviously it's that whole what happens in this house stays in this house. Like, that's something that our parents say to us. Like, but you know, it's like what you hear in this house, you don't go out and tell no one.
Yeah.
So it's like, I guess that's for
Yeah.
I can't tell anyone, and there are a lot of parents that know.
Yes.
They know that their kid's being fiddled, and that just I don't trust anyone around my child.
Okay. And that's on the unfortunate place that we've come to now, isn't it? With that, you know.
Funny with a lot of people.
And it's horrible. It's horrible to have to even think like that. Do you know what I mean? It is because, you know, the good men deserve more than that.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why men have to be so careful and, you know, just watch, you know, what they say, what they do.
Yeah.
Through fear of being accused when it's sad. It is really, really sad.
It's one of them.
But it's rife, babe. It's rife because
Yeah.
my mum. Oh God, I'm sure I'm not going to say too much, but you know, my mum works in a solicitor's, and you know the amount of stories. Maybe not stories. Sorry, mum. I don't know. You can tell me. I'll edit this out if you don't tell me, I can't do it. But basically, there's a lot of this that goes on in real life, minus celebrities. Like every week, she'll have a case with someone who's, especially now they do this setup thing, don't they? So the police have accounts online, they'll set up as young women, and men will fall for the bait, and literally it'll be like, yeah, I'm 12, and then the guys will be like, it's okay, just mind your little secret. Then they'll arrange to meet the girl, and then it'll be the police that are there ready to pounce. That happens all the time.
Yeah.
You know, so
I personally know some, obviously after the whole R. Kelly thing came out, a lot more people, like peers, were talking about their own experiences. And I know someone who, it was their grandparents' friend.
Okay.
And no one believed her.
Okay.
She told them what happened, no one believed her.
With the friend, yeah. Again, I think that was pretty common as well.
Very common.
Yeah, because why are you lying, little girl?
Why would she lie?
No, I'm saying that's what they used to say. Why are you lying, little girl?
And I think there's also a lot of them that know it's true. They know it's true.
Back then, no. There was like, it's shame, isn't it? It's shame on the family, it's shame on, do you know what I mean?
I don't even know what's going.
You don't want ice? Yeah, it's all about the shame as well, don't forget.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's right, but I just think that's why it's so good that, you know, the times are changing and
People
we're
are
becoming
open.
a lot more open to being honest about these things and
I'm not taking it no more.
And that's why this R. Kelly case has now come this far. You know, because let me read a little sugar.
And there's so many people, sorry, I know you're going to read on. There's so many people that must be shitting themselves because they know they were involved in that shit.
Right, yes. A lot of people on the documentary have now... yes to what you've just said.
Now he can start mentioning names.
Right, yeah, absolutely. I understand, but he was definitely the ringleader, wasn't he?
He's the
I think
ringleader,
other people
but
just went along with it to keep him happy or...
I think that...
You know, to make their lives... Oh, sorry, you're talking about people that actually got involved.
I think that he has peers and people that have probably been in his setup, his circle,
who were actually
that will
doing the things
doing it as well. Well, R. Kelly's brought this young thing.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna have some of that. Like whether it's his or not, it's like these are his girlfriends. As far as he's concerned, we know it's bullshit.
Yeah.
But it's not bullshit. But they're saying R. Kelly is my boyfriend. He's saying these are my girlfriends. Like, you know, polygamy, what this, whatever it's called.
Mm-hmm.
But and if he's sharing them, you were involved. You still slept with this minor. So I think there's a lot of people that need to be very careful because their name's gonna get dragged.
Interesting. I mean, if he does do that, I mean, you know what? Yeah, those people
he's rotten
also
anyway,
should.
So.
Yeah, but I'm just thinking it's bad mind of him to do that. But then on the flip side, I'm thinking they also do need to get theirs.
Yeah.
So it's kind of that's.
And I just no nothing.
No go. You have to say mine growing.
Just hope Ronald Isley's not involved.
Oh, I didn't think he was.
Because Contagious is also one of my favourites.
Right, let's not even put
You're
that out
contagious,
to the
touch me, baby, give me what you've got.
Are you sure that's how it goes?
That's exactly how the words go.
Right.
Okay, I think we should leave that there.
Okay.
Let's move on.
With Ronald R. Kelly.
Yeah.
All of it. Well, I'll just read a little bit.
Baby.
Okay, honey.
Sounds so STD-ish.
I'll just...
Right.
That was last week, guys.
Don't listen to that one.
Okay, so basically, the disgraced singer was found guilty on all 9 counts on Monday afternoon after decades of avoiding criminal responsibility for numerous allegations of misconduct in a major #MeToo victory for black women and girls, specifically. Okay. The panel of 7 men and 5 women interested had begun deliberating the charges on Friday afternoon after prosecutors and defence attorneys finished their closing arguments at the end of a 6-week grueling trial in Brooklyn, New York. Often presented shocking testimony detailing Kelly's abuse of women, girls and boys. He remained motionless, eye downcast as the verdict was read.
I would have loved to be in that.
The 50-year-old singer who was born Robert Sylvester Kelly was accused of running a Chicago-based criminal enterprise that recruited women and children and subjected them to unwanted sex and mental torment. Multiple witnesses said Kelly had forced them to obey perverse and brutal whims when they were underage in a scheme that stretched back more than 2 decades. The lawyer for some of Kelly's victims said that all of the predators she has gone after, a list including Harvey Weinstein and Jeffrey Epstein, Mr. Kelly is the worst.
Really?
And that just goes to show the fuckery of what I've just said.
Because them Epstein and Weinstein are awful as well.
Yeah, they're dead now. They're both dead now. I'm sure Harvey Weinstein died. But the point I'm making is, how come they were brought to justice? Well, Epstein wasn't because he killed himself in prison, but I just feel like, why is it taking so long? I just don't like that bit at all.
It did take long.
R. Kelly thought that he could get away with all of this, but he didn't. This is culmination of the movement of so many women who have been trying so long to have their voices heard.
I cried so many times during that documentary as well.
Yeah, it goes on, guys. If you want to read that, that's on The Guardian. Other newspapers are available. But also, it does say...
Maybe we can link that.
Yes, we could link that in. It also it goes on and on. But what it also says is, the New York case is only part of the legal peril facing the singer. He also has pleaded not guilty to sexual-related charges in Illinois and Minnesota, which trial dates have not been set.
Oh, so hang on. He's having
Because
different trials in different states.
Yeah, because different states be different.
What? So he'll get more time based on different states as well.
If they can bring charges in those states.
Was it unanimous? Did it say if the charges were unanimous?
Doesn't say.
Okay.
Doesn't say, but it goes deep. Oh no, that's not, no, it doesn't say, babes, that I can see, but go read it, guys. It's just a lot. Well, we are, yeah. For years, the public and news media appeared to be more amused than horrified by allegations of inappropriate relationship with minors. I think we were amused, weren't we? Starting with Kelly's illegal marriage to the R&B singer Aaliyah in '94 when she was just 15. So...
We got to remember, at the beginning as well, a lot of people blamed the children.
Yes, and her
They
parents
wanted it.
as well.
Not even her, like the young girls, it was like, well, they wanted
You're
it.
right.
Like, who wouldn't want to sleep with R. Kelly?
Right, you're so right. That's what was happening, wasn't it? Yeah. Yeah. So what can we draw from this bullshit?
Protect your children.
Unfortunateness.
Protect your children. Like...
Okay.
Protect your children.
Yeah.
Because children don't always think right, and if like love feels great, innit? So if someone is giving you attention, it's very easy to be like, oh my god, he loves me. Oh my god, yes, take all of me, kind of thing, without realizing what take all of me means.
Right.
If someone is feeding you, treating you right, it's very
buying
easy
your
to
clothes,
give.
buying your bags, and all
when mummy
that.
and daddy said no, you can't have that.
Yes.
And then
I can't get it.
Can't get it. Don't
physically
talk to you. Maybe because they're working to provide. Look after your children, and I think these are the kind of conversations, because I think a couple of years ago, like I know when I was growing up, I don't remember my mum having these kind of conversations.
That's what I was going to say as well. Speak to your kids.
Speak to your children. Understand
it so that they feel they can come to you if anything does go on.
Grooming is real. Grooming is so real, and like I don't know what age you start that conversation. Maybe when your child is out of your view, like when they start staying at a friend's house, if you even allow that, or when they start going to school on their own. Have these conversations. No one should touch your body. No one should be around you if you go toilet, all of this stuff, because it is real. And they just need to be aware, because it's them not being aware, and then them like, but it feels good. Mm-hmm. It feels good. So then who am I if this actually feels good?
To say no.
Me down there.
To say no.
But I'm just saying that, like, I can't imagine if I didn't want someone to do that to me, but they touched me down there, and they're the most nerves are down there, I believe. Mm-hmm. So it feels, what am I feeling right now? Because this shouldn't be happening, but I like it.
Right, okay, that's interesting.
I don't know. I thought I just opened the box, Pandora's box, and I don't know where I'm going with this. But that conversation, because no one should be touching you down there.
Okay.
Like, when, at that age.
But what you've just said makes sense, because obviously that's kind of what, and also like what you've just said as well, in that I guess you can kind of feel some sort, what's that syndrome? Where you feel like there's a word for it, isn't there? There's a syndrome of like, I know it's not good, I know it's wrong, and I know you're making me believe it's right.
I mean, I'm really thinking Mary J. Blige. It's not right, but it's okay. Did she sing that?
Yeah, that's
Whitney Houston. Whitney Houston syndrome.
That's right. It's not right, but it's okay. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
So yeah, talk to your kids. Make so that your kids can come
to you
to them and feel open, and especially the dads. Not just down to the mums, you know. It's down to the dads as well. I think it's really that's a fantastic segue into our next chat, isn't it?
Talk about the old dads.
Yeah, babe. I think it's dads as well. Like, because I feel like we put a lot of I feel like, I guess a lot of dads, I guess, don't feel comfortable talking to their girls about sex and about stuff like that. And I think, you know, that's important because at the end of the day, you know it's going to happen eventually.
Because dads have this thing of, I'll kill him if.
Right.
What? Let's stop it before.
Yes.
Let's teach them to know that no, before you have to go out and kill someone and be in jail for kill someone.
I can.
Yeah. And then she now grows up without her dad.
Right. Yeah.
Or him.
Or I'm going to come to you, Dad, and talk to you about it. You know.
You're not.
Because what? You're not going to go and kill him?
No, because you're not going to go talk to your dad. And you know your dad's going to go kill this person. Yeah. I don't want my dad to go to jail, so I'm just going to live with this secret for the rest of my life.
I see what you mean. Sorry, yeah. But I do think, it's really important for girls to be able to talk to their dads.
Yeah.
Well, not only just talk to them, have their dads in their lives, which, as I said, is a little bit of a good segue because this is something that I did mention to Dan, you know, this morning to say that I think I saw something on Instagram this girl posted and it was basically about how she, you know, her dad and her granddad have taught her. I'll play it. I could actually play it, but I'll play it. But it made me think, you know, how important it is to have your... So, do you know what? Not even your dad, a role model, a male role model in your life so that you can... Let me just play it and then we'll talk about it.
I have my two father figures, which is my dad and my grandpa, have always told me stuff to help me when it comes to dating.
Oh, okay. Well, that's signal.
Ever since I was a little girl, my grandpa would tell me that I was in this world to pick what man I wanted, not to be picked. Not to ever be chasing a man or asking for a man's attention or love. That I was the one that would pick the guy out of a roster instead of begging a man to pick me. And my dad was the one that told me that if a man is into you because you're independent or because you're established or because you have money, that man is only trying to get you to help him build himself up. So remember, ladies, you are here to pick, not to be picked. And if a guy tells you that the thing he loves about you the most is your independence, you need to see that as a red flag.
I thought that last bit was quite interesting. Because I've never really thought about that before. But when a guy says, "Oh, I love you because you're independent," I've thought of that as like a positive thing. But actually,
I don't think that's for everybody. I think I think if they say that, it's like, what are the other things that they're saying? What is the other feelings you're getting? Because independence is sexy.
Yeah, babe.
Because when we've got women out here saying, "Are you gonna pay for my hair and nails?" and "Are you gonna buy my kid McDonald's on the first date?"
So what do you think? Sorry.
I think for a guy, when you're dealing with a lot of women that just want like, what can you do for me? To find a woman that is independent, I can imagine a guy would say, "Wow, I love your independence," without wanting something from you. And so I think it just really is dependent on other
what does
things.
she mean by it?
I think she means that if he's telling you, if you're doing all these things and you're getting the feeling that he wants all of this stuff from you, because you would know that. Like, I think, I don't know, maybe she got a vibe already that this guy just...
He's using her?
Yeah,
right, okay.
Yeah, he's just milking off me.
Okay.
Because I'm independent. But I can't... I don't know, I think you get a vibe, we get vibes, we just don't always listen to them at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So I think, like, if a guy said to me, "I love your independence," I don't think I would see it as a red flag. Maybe that's something that says more about me.
Yeah, I don't know, but I kind of...
I'm not buying you shit, motherfucker. I'll just put it that way.
Yeah, but I kind of read it that she was saying, "I love your independence," in terms of you going about your business and doing what you want to do and not being on top of me or wanting to be in my pocket every 5 minutes. I was kind of seeing it from that he's happy to just see you going off and doing your own thing because he's just over here doing his own thing. That's what I read it as.
Saw it as that.
Isn't that funny how we do get our own little, so that's how I saw it.
So you understand where she's coming from.
So I understood in that sense, but I guess it's a bit deeper than that. But parking that aside for a minute, I also like, you know, anyone who knows me and you know, or whatever, who doesn't, but basically I've always kind of thought to myself how lucky I've been to have my dad in my life. And I've always thought to myself, don't get me wrong, I've made some stupid decisions, and I've definitely like dated guys that maybe I shouldn't have and stuff like that. But on the whole, I think I've always thought about my dad and thought that's the kind of guy, that's the kind of man that I would like for my kids. I'm not saying that my dad's an angel, because he's definitely not. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, my mum, I'm sure, could tell you some stories. But on a dad flex, I feel like I've always been able to look up to my dad, and I've always been able to call him, and I've always been able to be well, not always. I think that definitely came with age and stuff, as building that relationship and friendship and being able to talk to him and say, Dad, this has happened, or what do you think about this?
Yeah.
And this was a bit weird. I mean, I do remember actually calling my dad one time after getting myself into a bit of a situation and not being 100% comfortable with it. And then I remember calling my dad the next day and saying, because I was literally like, I just need to speak to my dad, I don't have brothers. Sometimes I guess your friend, I don't know, for some reason I was just like, I need to speak to my dad. And I remember calling him and probably still being drunk actually, and not being in the right frame of mind, but I remember being like, Dad, this situation happened and I'm not quite sure. And I remember him just saying, right, well, what, like, basically he was kind of like very practical about it. He was like, so what do you think that you could have done differently? And what will you do differently going forward so that you're not in that situation again?
Yeah.
And obviously, do you want me to do anything? Do you want to call the police? Do you want to take it further? And I was a bit like, well, no, because I don't really know. It was all a bit blurry, to be honest. But yeah, and I just remember thinking to myself, that is the person that I want to speak to about it, and that's the person that's going to make me feel better. And he didn't kick off. He didn't say he's going to go and kill someone and stab someone up and do all that. It was literally very, very pragmatic. Like, what are we going to do? What did you do? What do you want to do? Blah, 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 blah. So I think to have that has always meant that I just feel really quite powerful when I meet guys. And when I do meet guys, I do make a point of speaking about my dad as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, he comes up all the time anyway, but I do make a point of letting them know that I do have my dad. So don't think that you can be coming in on some fuck shit, because you are like secondary, like not that, sorry, my husband obviously will not be secondary to my dad, but what I mean is that you're not going to be there until you're deserving to be there.
Yeah.
Okay, so like with Ryan, my ex, like I always remember thinking about him and thinking he always reminded me of my dad, and obviously they got on and stuff like that. But I just remember always thinking, yeah, like you're a good man because of certain traits that he had that I know that my dad had. Being a really good dad to his son, and obviously being a little hustler, and not being a bum, and even just mentally, like his young mind, his mind, like the whole, he had like a little. Anyone who was so ridiculous, but even just like having a little bit of a Rasta heart, and just having a little vibe, and knowing certain things and thinking a certain way about stuff, and even the way that you are with people. Like when I meet a guy, I look at how he is with other people. Like when we go out, is he saying hi to the waiter? Is he being rude to the waiter? If there's a homeless man on the street and it's like, stuff like that. Like I know stuff that my dad would like manage. I always think whenever I see a guy doing certain things that remind me of my dad, it's like, oh yeah, okay, that's nice. But taking it back from that, I just always think that it would be difficult for a guy to take the absolute piss out of me, unless I allowed it. Because sometimes I'm a woman and we just do, women we do silly things sometimes. But they're not even silly things. Sometimes we just do what we want to do because we want to do it. Okay. But on the whole of like a man like taking the piss, like whether it be abusing me or mentally or physically, I think that'd be quite tough. Unless I really was in some fucked up place, because I think I'd never be able to hide that from my dad, and I think I'd know how disappointed he would be, or sad he'd be if I let something like that happen. So yeah, I think it's really important for a girl to have her dad around in that way, so that it can prevent her from going through certain things.
Yeah, definitely. So obviously, like Acsha said, we spoke about this earlier in the day. Well, she brought it to me, and what was funny is how you perceive my relationship with my dad because of how I talk about my dad. So for anyone that knows me, my dad passed away 5 years ago. And I talk about him a lot, like, about this amazing person that he is. But my dad has always been around me, but my story is very different from Acsha's story.
Which I didn't think it was.
Yeah.
Too similar, which is really a great, even better conversation to have now.
So for me, I kind of felt like, we about to go in.
This is what we do.
And obviously my dad knows how I feel about him. So he's probably in this room right now, and I don't want him to feel no way. And I'm not, like I said, my dad is an amazing guy. Like, he is an amazing person, and he's an amazing personality, and he likes to make people feel good. But for me personally, I kind of felt that I didn't get my dad the way my siblings got my dad. So me and my sister have the same mum and dad. And my brother, we have different mums. And then I have a younger sister who has a different mum from us. And
oh, so you're not, I was going to say you're the youngest. No,
I'm the second.
Right.
Then there's 2 in Guadeloupe as well. They're younger. But
Where's Guadeloupe?
It's Caribbean.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So obviously me and my sister, we're 4 years apart. But my brother, my half brother, is 9 months younger than me. Mm-hmm. So when my mum was pregnant with me, my dad wasn't around.
Yes.
And I remember, like, growing up and looking in all the photo albums, and there is not a picture of me and my dad.
Okay.
There's loads of pictures. Obviously, she got first kid, you know, all the pictures and everything, and with all the aunties and everything. And I was like, wow, forgotten child.
Yeah.
Who am I? Kind of thing. And
even at that age.
Yeah, like, I was very apparent. And then obviously, like I said, my brother, when my mum was pregnant with me, my dad was with my brother's mum. But my dad would always have the 3 of us together because we was, you know, close in age. And so I remember I grew up with my brother, but I always felt like I didn't get, I felt like he didn't love me as much. Mm. I was young. Mm. And so then obviously growing up now, like I said, we was at my dad's house, like, every few weekends. We would always go there together because we grew, me and my half brothers and sisters, we grew up together. We were so close.
So, which is interesting. So who orchestrated that then? Was that your dad that orchestrated that?
I mean,
or were your mum's friends?
It was my dad. It was probably my dad picking up one of us and saying, "Can you look after so-and-so's child?" That's what it was.
Oh, so picking you, okay.
So, like, he might pick up my brother and bring my brother to my mum's house.
Got ya.
And then I met Manel when I was 12. And Manel was at our house. My dad had picked Manel up and brought her to my house, to my mum's house, because we used to have parties on Boxing Day.
Right.
And I remember sitting with my sister saying,
who's that?
Who's that? My sister said,
It's your sister?
Our sister. I was 12 years old.
That's mad.
Look, the four of us are so close.
Yeah.
My dad has always kept us really
amazing.
Close.
Yeah.
And
amazing.
So, but in regards to relationships,
yes,
what we're talking about is I didn't get that from my dad. Like, my dad didn't teach me how, as close as I was to him, he didn't teach me how I should be treated with a man, and I picked shit.
Right.
From a long time. I don't feel like I was taught that make sure you pick someone who respects you, make sure they treat you like this, you are a queen, you are this, you are valued. No. I've all of this stuff I feel like I've learnt in the last few years. And I've learnt by myself. Like, I remember when my dad met Jermaine, who's my children's dad, and he squeezed his hand really hard.
As if to say,
don't play. And that's the most my dad did.
Yeah.
Like, with my first boyfriend when I was 16, like, my dad was easy, innit? Like, he was just cool. So I would be like, Mum, I'm going to stay at Dad's house. Then I get to my dad's, I'd be like, Dad, I'm going to stay at my boyfriend's house. And he'd be like, cool, baby girl. Go to my boyfriend's house, come back the next morning and be like, alright, Dad, I'm going home. Like, it's only a couple times, but that was it. Like, he was chill with us. He
was cool.
But for me, I didn't kind of feel like I had that respect. It's going to sound so awful. I didn't have that respect for him as
father.
As that father thing. But when I had my children, my dad changed in my eyes, and he was this. I saw him as a great grandfather.
Right.
And I think we got closer when I got kids.
That's
it's not
right.
like we were far away, but it's just like his role, he was a grandfather. And my sister had the first kids, but I saw how he was with my kids, and I thought, I'm not gonna hold him away from his children because of what he did or didn't do for me.
Yeah.
Not from his children, from my children, because my children deserve a grandparent.
Thank God.
Is going to love them and be amazing.
Did have that.
And they had him, and they remember him, and they talk about him,
Yes.
and it brought me and my dad closer. Like the last couple of years before my dad passed away, I was so close to my dad.
Yeah, babe, that's the years that I remember.
And that's what's important.
That's the years that I remember.
But now when I think about, my dad has impacted me on the type of person that I want to be. And being the type of person that I want to be, yeah, I didn't make great decisions in relationships before, but I make great decisions on people as a whole.
Okay.
And I make great decisions on myself. Like, when I think about how my dad was perceived when he left this earth.
Yes.
My dad was a legend.
Yes.
Like, he went out as a friggin' legend.
Yes.
Like, who doesn't want to be?
And I hear the way that when you're in, even the video you put up on Insta the other day, about the way I see, the way that
I mentioned my dad and everyone just started clapping. Like, do you know what I'm saying? And cheering. Like, my dad was a great person. He was a personality. Like, he would make you sing, dance. At his funeral,
so you and him are so similar like
very
that?
Very similar. The amount of people that said, your dad taught me how to dance, your dad was an amazing dancer, he was an amazing singer. Like, yeah, I can't sing, but, you know, what?
That's
but
so
it's the
cute.
person, he was just himself.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
For me, that's great. And like I said, I love my dad. I miss my dad every day, like, whatever, innit?
There's no kind of, there's no, obviously we don't know what your dad obviously went through back then, and his,
him and my mum was 16 and he was 17 when they had my sister.
Wow.
I'm 21 and 22 when they had me.
I mean, what the hell?
Yeah, let me just make up the excuse.
Yeah.
He didn't know how to do that.
No, but come on, you're 17, bruv. Like, it's a lot.
They were the hitters on the street, like,
right.
not in a bad way, but they were galluses, like.
Right. That's what listen, I'm not saying my dad, as a father, obviously my dad was wonderful, but as I say, I'm sure Julie could tell you some tales where she wanted to box him up, and I also think that there's times where Julie, sorry, I know you're listening, she'd be like, me and Ellie are like, oh, my dad, we just look, and my mum's like,
rolling their eyes.
But she would never, she's not that mum, she would never let us know if he did this or if he went and did that or anything, or there's times where maybe he might not have, I'm putting, and I think we definitely remember me and Ellie remember the good times.
Which is important.
Do you know what I mean? I think there were probably times where we'd be like, oh, so he's not coming, or, because obviously...
Oh yeah, when you sit by the window waiting for them to come.
Literally sitting, waiting by the window.
I think we've all been there.
Yeah, babe, but then he doesn't come, or he'll come super late, or he'll come super late.
Yeah.
But there was definitely time, and I don't think my dad never actually sat me down and was like, this is the type of man, or da-da-da. But I think just being around is what gave me and Ellie an insight into, well, actually then, okay, so maybe I don't want to be with some loser who's in and out of prison, or has got 10 baby mamas, stuff like that, I think is what he taught us, even though Glenroy might maybe now have a few kids, but that's another story. So I think it wasn't actually even really a conversation as such, it was more just, and he was quite rough. I could never have said to my dad that I was going to stay, and I hated that. I hated that my little mates could go and stay around and do this, that and the other, and even though my dad didn't live with us in the house, my mum would still call Glenroy way up in London when we were in Liverpool and be like, Asha's doing this, she's probably grasping up, and then my dad would get on the phone and be like, Acsha, that's all he had to say, Acsha, and I'd just be like, oh, I'm sorry, and I'd be so scared, even though he was so far, and I knew he couldn't come and beat me or do anything, but just the sound of his voice and the disappointment that he would feel was enough for me to fix up sometimes. I think it is interesting, and I think, as you said, what's important is obviously it is a bit shit that you felt those things when you were a kid, let's not deny it, but I'm so glad little old me who didn't even know your dad. I know him so much through you.
Yeah.
But I'm so happy for you that you did manage to have that relationship with him as best as you could, whether that was your input, his input, you know, the kids, your kids, whatever. Like, you did it, and your memories now are what they are, and it is just kind of what it is, isn't it? At the end of the day, like.
But the night my dad died, he said, "So proud of you."
Oh.
I was like, by the way, it wasn't all of a sudden death. It wasn't expected.
Right.
And I remember thinking, all right, Dad, whatever. But
and look now,
he was proud of me.
Because I said that I did hesitate because I put that on your page, didn't I, the other day? And obviously part of me kind of didn't hesitate to put it, but I thought, first of all, I didn't even know your dad, so how dare I speak like his name on your page? First of all, but like, your dad's so proud you didn't even know him. Second of all, how do I know that? But I just freaking know that. Do you know what I mean?
Why wouldn't he be? No,
but it's true though, isn't it?
Yeah.
But you could be like, how do you even know, bitch? But I know. I know. He could be. Of course he's proud of you. Why wouldn't he be? You know what I mean? So I think whatever you had when you had it was more powerful than what you didn't have beforehand. Does that make sense? You know?
it caused me to make a good few mistakes. But I think it is very important on this whole topic. It's so important just to talk to your kids about their self-worth.
So I did a little bit of research because I like to do a little Google. And I looked up on fatherless girls and what it actually does, impact of what it does. I should be a researcher, shouldn't I? I know, babe, I'm so wasted up in this bitch. Okay, so fatherless girls. Countless studies have shown that fatherlessness has an extremely negative impact on daughters' self-esteem, academically, personally, professionally, physically, socially, and romantically. So basically in every areas of your life.
100%. That was me.
A woman's self-esteem is diminished in every setting if she did not form a healthy relationship with her father. And that was from a study of 14th of June 2021.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I
didn't have any self-esteem.
Right. Which
I
is
had to
crazy.
build that on my own.
I was going to say, I don't think anyone believed that really.
I had to build it on my own.
Yeah, no one would really believe that really with you, actually. Interesting. I get it, no, babe. And this is actually an amazing conversation then. I think if we were both sitting here going, yeah, then it would be just a bit flatline, wouldn't it? But I'm just thinking back to my self-esteem and actually how much I think it has come from Glenroy.
Yeah.
Even down to my lips. Like, I remember being absolutely ridiculed as a kid because of my lips, because obviously he gave me these big lips, which no one asked for. But now, obviously, I love them.
Yeah.
But back then, when they were calling me rubber lips, big lips, monkey lips, sticky to the window lips, you're laughing because this is what kids did, bastard kids. And honestly, I used to go home crying.
Sticky to the window.
Yeah, that's what they.
Have you never
heard that one? Sticky to the window because you sticky to the window with your lips.
Wow.
Yeah, that was probably one of the worst actually. And rubber lips. And just any time I would hear the word lips, it would just make me go, oh, I just hated anyone talking about lips.
I hate that.
Because it was like, oh yeah, Acsha with the big lips.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
But I remember going home and crying and calling my dad on the phone, because he wasn't in the house, but I'd call him on the phone and he'd just be like, Acsha, and he'd just say all the right things to make me feel better. Do you know what I mean? I don't know how he did it.
How amazing you are.
Yeah.
And how beautiful you are.
Yeah, so it didn't help when I was in the playground getting rid. Don't get me wrong, guys, I was super fucking cool. Don't even try it. I was a boss bitch in school, okay? But there was obviously the boys. It was mainly the boys, really. The girls wouldn't say no. Because, I mash them up. No, I'm joking. But the boys were horrible. So it was mainly the boys. But yeah, I remember he did always try and, make sure that I knew who I was and where I come from and why I had these lips and the difference between me and these little rugrats that were, do you know what I mean? So yeah, I think you're absolutely right then. It must come from that. Okay, so now we know the importance.
It's so important. Like even I guess for me, my thing, which seems so minor now, was my birthmark. My birthmark growing up, and again I got teased about it. Like people call me.
Tell us about your birthmark, babe, because you know it's very special. It's so special. How many people in the world do you know with that shit on their face? That is amazing.
It's mad how some people haven't even noticed it. I think some people just think I just didn't do my makeup properly.
I think so.
Like I went,
can't be Daniela.
She called herself a makeup artist. I used to be so conscious when I was doing my makeup artist roles. I used to be like, they'll be like, hang on, she's a makeup artist, but she ain't even done her makeup properly. Because I would never hide it.
No.
I never tried to cover it up with makeup. And I remember doing a shoot once when I was about 16. And they tried to cover it up with makeup. And I hated I looked weird. It was awful. They made me look so weird. But, so yeah, I got teased by some people. Mostly guys as well.
Yeah.
And I just didn't.
So at what age did you start to kind of embrace it? So hang on, tell the listeners because they can't see you. Well, they won't.
I have a
even
birthmark.
if they can see you, you can't see it, babe. You've got to be up close and personal.
So I've got a birthmark. It goes down the middle of my forehead and it kind of goes over my eyebrow.
I love how you're going that way.
Oh, is it this way?
I thought it was that. No, but it's that way because that's the lighter side.
Do you know what? So in summertime, what I used to do is I used to go in the garden and get a flannel and wipe it and sit like that in the sun.
And did it ever work?
It never worked. That was like, I ain't going nowhere, bitch. But I used to want to get rid of it. I used to like kind of rub it, like I don't know what I was trying to do, punch myself. No,
so basically Danielle's got, so literally it's like your forehead basically is one side is dark and the other side is light. That's basically it, isn't it? I think that is so special. I think that is so special. So now let's break it down. So I'm not trying to be like everybody else. I want to be, this is my uniqueness now. This is what makes you so special. Even just the conversation starter. Obviously some people might not feel comfortable to say, but the ones that do.
I see him staring though.
Yeah, babe, just go, babe, do you want to know? Do you want to have a chat about it?
Yeah,
babes. And now that's a conversation starter now. So now we're having to me, that is a blessing now. Yeah. That is definitely not a hindrance in any way, shape or form. But it would have been good if you could have had that chat with your dad about it.
Just for someone to say, you're so special because
unique.
You have this birthmark. You're unique. No one has that.
Yeah. Try and find. Have you seen
but
anyone
even
else?
My mum or my dad, it would have been nice to hear.
I was going to say your mum. Let's not take your mum off the thing to be.
Yeah, it would have been nice to hear it from any of them.
Right.
Like just how beautiful my skin was, and you know, obviously, like I remember just thinking, like my mum and my sister are light skinned, and I remember thinking, can't I just be that colour so that I could be lighter, like them and shit, a bitch is going deep. I just think if I was lighter, my dad would love you more as well.
Yeah.
So I feel a bit emotional.
Oh, baby girl, it's okay. Retrograde.
And I don't think that's true.
It's definitely not true. Oh, please.
But that's what I felt. I have a diary. I've written in my diary. My dad doesn't like me as much because I'm not as light.
It's definitely not true.
And Richard and Nick are light skin. And then she's the first girl. And he's the first boy.
Oh, the
first boy. So I'm just this kid I had issues growing up. You would never, like you said, people look at me now and think I'm this confident, amazing person, which I am. But I was fucked growing up. Honestly, I was fucked. Like, no ratings for myself all.
Okay.
Right.
And look how incredibly amazing you have. Oh, please, don't even go there. It's all right when people say it, isn't it? It's so like, I don't even know if you're hearing the words that are coming out of my mouth right now, but yeah, it's pretty incredible, isn't it? How you do get to a moment in your life where you do realise that you actually are super fucking special, and who you are and the impact that you have on the world, the way people see you. That's what's important, Dan. That is what's important. Like, you know, your journey is also like the most important. So you going through all that and even speaking about it now, like obviously this is a lot, guys. You know, this is why we do this. Do you know what I mean? This is why we do it. It is, it's proper therapy. And I'm sure there's some of you listening out there that would have had similar experiences to Dan, similar experiences to me. And you know, we don't do this we do it for fun, sorry. We do this for fun. You know, but we don't even know why we do this. We do this because we love to talk.
Yeah.
You know, we have got stories, as you can see. Do you know what I mean? We have got stories.
Yeah.
And if we can help anybody else that that have felt like this, or may even be feeling like this now.
Yeah.
You know,
I was gonna say, because of how I felt,
right.
Callie will never feel this way.
Right.
That girl, she is like, she looks at me like, Mum, you're trying to get dark like me, innit?
Yes,
like, she knows this colour of her skin is absolutely beautiful.
Oh my God.
Her black is so beautiful.
So there's no questioning.
There is no questions about why am I dark skin and Caden's light skin. The only question, she said, Mum, my gums are darker than Caden's. And I was like, because your skin is so melanated, baby. It runs through. Like, I will not allow that little girl to feel how I felt about the colour of my skin. Like,
it would be cruel of you to do it. Wouldn't
yeah, because I've been there. How can I go through that and then allow her to go through that?
Yeah.
Like,
that's something.
She's so confident. Like, she's so confident.
She's a case, that one.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, yes, it'll be a whole different... And hopefully even her relationship with her dad as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's their personal thing. But hopefully, she does have that different experience. And I think, dads are fucking important. So this goes to show dads are so freaking important. We could speak to Ellie, and Ellie could have a different version over here.
Definitely.
But I don't want to bring up other people. But it's funny you spoke about the colour thing, because I know that my dad and his brother, my dad being a little bit darker, I think my dad always felt that what you felt. I think my dad always felt some sort of maybe that he wasn't as accepted.
Yeah.
I think back then as well, it was so fucked up.
It really was a thing.
Yeah, like...
Oh, look, a red-skinned girl.
Yeah, babe.
And the thing is, when I call myself dark-skinned now, people are like, really? I was dark. I don't know what happened.
You got lighter?
But I've gotten lighter. I was dark-skinned as a kid. I was like, the way the complexion of Callie, I was the same complexion as my daughter.
Okay.
And so, when people be like, oh, your sister's the mixed race one. And I'm like, my sister's not mixed race. We got the same mum and dad. And they're like, oh my God, really? Because I was dark. Like,
that's crazy. Yeah.
So.
And now look, oh my gosh. Listen, bitch. I am so upset that my tan is, that's this shit fading.
Listen, can't stop me from getting out
I
of
am
that sun.
so sad.
I was taking a whole day off work because the sun decided to be 31
I
degrees.
feel so much
it's
better. Honestly, I felt great while I've had my little tantalisation going on. But baby girl, just final words on that. You are just absolutely, you know who you are. I forget what that's off now, but you know who you are. If anyone can remind me, it's a song. You know who you are. It'll come back to me. You know I do that when I forget. And yeah, I think just speak to him. I'm sure you do that. Speak to him.
Yeah.
Speak to your sisters even when you're ready. Whatever you need to do that can help you. Whether it's this, just knowing how incredibly far you've come, and your journey has not been in vain. Everything that happened with your dad has not been in vain. As you said, now you're able to see, pass that down onto Callie.
Yeah.
So it's taken all the positives from, I guess, some of the bullshit that you may have endured back then,
Exactly. And like I said, about the colorism,
yes,
my dad never ever mentioned about my skin tone.
Right.
That was my fault.
I
don't know where it came from, but that was me trying to make sense of why or something.
Yeah.
But I'm always talking to my dad. My dad is literally always hanging around. He is always around.
Can't get rid of him.
Now I'm not close. Obviously, I'm not closer to him now. He's passed away. But before my dad passed away, we were close. Like my dad would call me all the time. There were times when I was just like, then he's calling to chat shit. I'll call him back.
Yes.
Like, sorry, Dad. I missed a few. I diverted a few calls.
No, babe, I hear you.
We were close then.
I hear you.
We got through that.
Big up, Dad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But guys, be in your
Yes.
child's life, boy or girl.
That was the point of that.
Be in your child's life, like shit. That is
Please.
important. No, let them know how you feel. All this stuff
Girls.
about like masculine men and feminine women. You be as I was
Feminine as you need to
watching
be.
something today. Listening to something today, and they said feminine and masculine is a word that's been made up to talk about people's actions or personalities and mannerisms.
To make people feel like they shouldn't do this and they
because
shouldn't
it's
do
too
that.
feminine.
Yes.
Let your boys know that it's okay to talk and it's okay to be vulnerable and it's okay to be sensitive. Like this thing about sensitive boys. When people tell me that Caden's sensitive, there is nothing wrong with that. That kid is sensitive. Like
be sensitive.
He could shed a tear. I don't give a shit because no one wants this guy that doesn't know how to express themselves. Like, talk to your children.
Yeah.
Let them know it's okay to cry. If your kid is emotional and they cry, and he's a boy, let that little motherfucker cry and let him come to your shoulder and be like, all right, bruv, come. Not, don't call him bruv, but come. Yeah. It's cool. Don't worry about it. But do not tell him to man up.
No, don't tell him to man up.
Let's not tell him to man up. Let's not tell him to grow balls because balls are the weakest part of the human body.
Okay, and they really hurt.
So I've. You might as well call him a vagina.
Okay.
Because we be pushing motherfucking humans out of that bitch.
Boob ting.
Try and push a baby out of a penis and let's see if you survive
God,
that.
the baby wouldn't even survive that.
The baby wouldn't
The horrible little
yeah.
That would be horrible to think
That'd
of a
be
child
gross.
coming out of a penis. That's not a nice picture, Dan. I don't know what you've done there. Sorry, everyone. Wow.
Everyone's just gone,
Everyone's screaming now. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, man.
Okay, so guys, be there for your girls.
Be there for your sons.
Yeah, and of course for the sons.
Even more, maybe. Nah, both.
Yeah. So okay. So I'm feeling like that could be our thing. Yeah. I do just want to say. I would just like to say, rest in peace to Sabrina Nessa, the woman who was killed last week, going to the pub to see her friend. Have you not heard about it, Dan? Dan doesn't watch the news.
Can you tell that I haven't heard?
Yeah, so basically there was a young woman, teacher, I want to say she was 27 or 28, walking to meet her friend in the pub, somewhere in Lewisham, if I've got it right. And basically her body was found the next morning under a dumpster.
Wow.
Not even in a dumpster, I think it was her body was found. And someone's now been arrested and charged for her murder. And it was just a real senseless, awful, tragic act, really. Yeah. And what it's made me do, it's made me actually think, shit, I could literally be walking down the street and some shit could go down. And I just think that we need to be, I guess as a result, I don't even really know what the answer is. I don't think anyone does. Going to the pub at 8:30 to meet your mate, what's the problem there?
Yeah.
So, I would just like to give a beautiful rest in peace to her and her family, just sending love there, and everybody just, look after yourselves and be there for each other, and women, definitely look after yourselves.
Do you know what we haven't done in a while?
Wow.
You might end it there, but
go on.
We haven't done bop.
Oh, I know. Yeah, what have you got? Oh, why you're not ready with your bop?
I've got one, but I'm trying to find it's one song that I've been adding to all my thingies this week.
Let me see. I've got one as well.
It'll be the same as mine.
NASA.
My Wi-Fi's playing up today.
Is it working?
Is it working?
Oh no!
Yeah,
That's not it. I can play it. I'm going. Oh my god, this is such a tune.
Do you know what song I like? Go on.
Right, this is my tune. This is dedicated to Alicia and Dennis. Thank you so much for just being amazing and looking after me and just, being the best brother and the best sister and, Yeah, and I just caught these two when I came out of the bathroom the other night. They were just there singing and dancing and singing it to each other. Oh yeah.
So
And then when we went to the club,
Yeah.
to the bar, it came on in the bar. It was so random. I'd never heard it. And then I heard it that night in theirs. And then when we went to the bar, here we go.
Oh, I love this song.
Is it you?
What you do?
Where you at?
Where you at? Oh, you got plans? Don't say that. Shut your mouth. Oh, crap.
I look too good to be alone. My house clean.
House clean.
My pool warm. Just shake.
Sway like a groove on.
We should be dancing, romancing in the east wing and the west wing of this mansion.
All you doing no games, everyone in the same. I'ma leave the door open. I'ma leave the door open. Leave the door open. I'ma leave the door open.
Did you feel the way I feel when you want me like I want you tonight, baby?
Tell me that you let me
You're so sweet,
so sweet.
so tight, I won't bite.
I found my song. That she like. Yeah,
Oh
that is
my
a tune.
gosh, babe. Literally, they put me on that. That is, they
I love that
literally,
song.
I literally come on the band, they were just there, like, just giving it to just like, you too. And then I come on in the
Okay.
bar afterwards, I couldn't believe it. So I hope they don't mind me
Oh, they'll
sharing
love
it
that.
with the
Everyone
world
love that.
and, you know, giving them their props. That is a tune.
Yeah.
So come, gal.
This is my, which one is it? This one.
Go on.
Obviously, oh god, these
Oh,
songs get on
God.
TikTok and everyone makes up a dance.
Oh,
but I
God.
heard it, I don't know, maybe last month before it became big.
Okay.
And I like it, I enjoy it.
Oh,
Let's see.
go on.
Oh,
What's that
sorry.
ring, by the way?
Thank you.
Oh my God, where'd you get it?
Do you know what? I might have to link it.
Tell me, yeah. Oh yeah.
Do you know this one?
Yeah, it's a bit too commercial now.
It is now. And they got the whole dance to it.
What is it? Is it on that? I think this is a remix. Or the other one's a remix.
Might be. What's that whole volume?
We're just out here like
Struggling to it. But like you said, it is so commercial now. But I like
still a
it.
tune, still a tune. No, I feel like it's a remix for English vibes remix to it. This
Yeah,
one.
there's bare remixes of it as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, TikTok will ruin a
There's
song.
an English. I'm sure there's an English. You know, like London Boys who have remixed it. Good. Yeah, I haven't heard that one. I've heard the other one.
TikTok will ruin a song these days.
Yeah.
It goes viral. Everyone does a
Not on
dance. It goes
TikTok,
viral
like
and then it's
TikTok.
like...
What on
TikTok.
TikTok?
Fuck it
I'm not on
Not
TikTok.
sounding like that now. Joking. What?
Sounds about that.
Right, yeah.
Okay, so you clearly didn't win this week.
What? No. Come on. calm
No,
down.
babe.
I think
What you
we-
do? What you do? Where you at?
No, do you
Where
know what,
at?
Ash? Don't worry. We are going to do a poll.
Where? Yeah, you better do it then.
Sib.
That's a tune.
Chip,
my pool
chip.
warm, my house
If.
clean. That's a
Little.
jam.
So yeah, we'll do our photos, add our tunes, and we'll see who wins.
See what I go on. Up in the place to be. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in.
So much.
That was like a nice little me and Dan, doing our little deep thing that
Yeah.
we do, and Dan crying, and
It made me cry.
and that's what. It's all good though. It's all good because this is. I really do feel like whoever listens to this wants to listen. I feel like no one's gonna listen if they don't want to listen. So anyone who's not enjoying us, just don't listen.
Yeah.
It's quite simple, really.
It really is.
So I feel like people who are listening, they want to hear our
Yeah.
stories. They're connected to us now.
Yeah.
Because any podcasts that I listen to, I enjoy listening to them because I want to listen. No one's forcing me to listen.
We'll make you laugh, we'll make you cry, we'll make you think, we'll make you sigh. Oh. Jingle? That is a full-on jingle?
That's going to be a clip.
Okay.
That is so good!
Literally.
Say it again. You can't remember
We'll
it,
make
can
you laugh, we'll make you cry, we'll
Make
make
you
you think, we'll make you sigh.
No, there was something else.
Hey, there was 4.
No, you said laugh. Anyway, well, don't worry.
We all lose the bag, let you know.
Got it.
And we'll say on the next episode too. And everyone after that.
It could be on your little tag. But yes, guys, thank you so much. And obviously, please do connect with us. I don't know why you're not connecting with us.
Connect with us. Let us know your stories.
Yeah,
If we've touched on anything
guys.
today that made you think, like, do you know what? You can send us an inbox. It would be really nice to send us a little DM. And if you're happy for us to share it, just let us know anon, and let us share it. We'll take up your name and your handles and stuff. But there are so many people that we're just living in this world, going through stuff and thinking it's only us that goes through this.
It's not.
It's not.
It's really not.
It
I'm telling
really
you now,
isn't.
girl.
Share your story.
I'd be thinking it's just me, and then I come here and it's you too.
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Share your story. Let us know that you feel the same way we feel. Or you feel this way. You might even have just a general dilemma, and you're like, guys, and we can talk about it on the show, and someone else could be feeling exactly what you're feeling. Like, it might be bants, and it might be serious. Like we don't know.
Either way.
We want to be more. We really want to connect with you guys.
Yes, we want to interact.
Yes.
Interact
with us on the socials, biatches.
So yeah, keep it real. Keep it real. Keep it real. Keep it tight. Keep it light. We love you guys.
And go to the gyno.
And don't forget, go to the gyno because you don't want to.
You want to keep it right and tight.
Peace up, A-Town. Mwah. Love y'all.
Love you.
Fabulous.